Quebec, Canada, fighting Troy the Destroyer Dorsey. 12 rounds for the World Super Lightweight Championship.
What are you going to do now as far as kickboxing?
First, I want to thank God. Say hello to my wife, Shelly and Kendra. Happy birthday, Shane. And thank all of my instructors and students at my school. Now, pick up kickboxing and boxing both again and go after a world title.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you. All right.
The winner and still Hurricane World Super Lightweight Champion of the world, Troy the Destroyer Dorsey!
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to our next podcast. It's the Gloves Could Talk. I'm here with my good friend Cliff Thomas from El Paso. Most of the time or all the time?
No, I'm living in Fort Worth now. I've been living in Fort Worth for.
But you're
originally from El Paso.
Original from El
Right, I
Paso.
live in Fort Worth for the past
That's where I met you.
years. Yeah.
That's where I met
Yeah.
you, pounding on me 20, 30 years ago.
And I think that you did some pounding yourself.
Yes, sir. All right, so Cliff, you were the first to win 3 world titles in different weight divisions. So how did that accomplishment change your life and your career? Or
Well,
it changed your life? I know you had to defend those titles and whatever. What did you?
that was the biggest deal, was going up for each title defense. See, when I first got into kickboxing, I graduated slowly from regular martial arts and the Kenpo style, the soft style, and I graduated slowly. And finally, when I started training for kickboxing, I came to Dallas to train.
Oh yeah.
Came to Dallas. That's where I met you in Dallas, or Fort Worth. Yeah, it was in Dallas, I believe.
Yeah, Dallas over at Greek's Gym, right?
Greek's Gym, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was called Southwest Karate. That's where my wife was training when I met her.
There you go. See?
So I'm not gonna marry you though, okay?
Well, you might have some objections from my wife. But yeah, we trained. See, we actually got a history together. We trained together, same gym, same crazy people that we had at the school. And there was a lot of really good martial artists in that school.
Oh yes, sir.
And I think we spent most of our time just beating on each other. We pounded each other to death a lot of times.
Oh yes, sir.
But the thing is, we showed up the next day and did it again, over and over again. And as the journey went on, I finally got a world title fight. And when I got that world title fight with Gordon Franks.
So Gordon Franks, if anybody want to Google this guy was an amazing champion.
Yes.
He had the championship for how many years?
He was champion for 14 years undefeated.
14
years.
undefeated.
Undefeated.
Go ahead and tell the story a little more on that fight.
think,
and then if you don't tell it, then I'll tell it. I know.
You may have a different version of it, but
What year was this? 81, right?
gosh, man. You know how many times I've been hit in the head? You think I remember the years? I don't even try to remember years
Your
anymore.
first world title, though, that was in 81, was it?
81, somewhere around
It
there.
was 81.
And I fought Gordon Franks. That was when I won the title. And the thing was with Gordon, the story that I got from a lot of people was Gordon was up for a mandatory title defense.
Right.
His opponents could have been Richard Jackson or Paul Vizio. Both of them were like 1 and 2 below him.
Number 1, number 2, yes, sir.
And in my own personal opinion, I think either one of them could have taken Gordon out.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Gordon saw me in El Paso, unknown.
Take the easy one.
Take the easy one and defend your title and wait for the next mandatory.
Like we all like it easy, an easier fighter. That's something that we don't.
We proved to be not that easy though.
Right, exactly.
I think he was just underestimated the
Right.
whole deal, the whole fight with me. And we got in the ring and he went 3 rounds. 3 or 4 rounds, I believe it was, and knocked him out.
Uh-huh.
And I became champion then.
That was the PKA champion,
That was
right?
the PKA. That's when the PKA was a PKA.
Oh yes, sir. Yes,
And,
sir.
before they changed it over to ISKA, and
Right.
I never fought WKA, but it was PKA and ISKA. So when the PKA merged into the ISKA, then they made me the champion of the ISKA also.
Right.
And then I went from,
Before we go too far beyond that, so who was your trainer? What happened on the way up there to watch you fight?
my trainer at that time was Demetrius Savanas.
Right.
Now, everybody knows him as the Golden Greek. He's from Dallas. He was the main guy at Southwest Karate in Dallas.
Oh yes, sir.
And the story is, and I know the story best, and I tell it the best way I can, was when we got the fight, we accepted the fight, we trained for the fight, and 2 weeks before the fight, we all going to go down to Atlantic City. This fight was going to be in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And a week before that, I always go home before a fight. No matter where I am, if I have a fight coming up, I go home.
Going to El Paso?
Yeah, I go back to El
Okay.
Paso.
Training in Dallas.
Sit with my parents and my brothers over there.
Right.
And then I take a plane from wherever I am in El Paso to wherever the fight's going to be.
Right.
So the same thing happened this time. I went home, got everything ready at home in El Paso, and then took a plane out from El Paso with Hillary Sandoval.
Right.
And we flew to Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Right.
When we got there, we went through the regular stuff, the weigh-ins, getting ready for the fight, the preparations, checking the hotels, all that. And we just sit around relaxing. The day of the fight,
Because you made the weight.
made the weight.
Everything was taken care of. Your training was ready. You were ready like you are
Making weight for
always.
something else. Yeah, we
And
just
then, oh my gosh.
on the day of the fight, we get a message. It wasn't messenger.
Back then it wasn't tech. It wasn't
They had to
texting.
come knock on your door or call you on the phone.
Right.
You know, they came in and told us that a plane had gone down in Tennessee, and there were no survivors.
The plane that went down had
Had
Tony Sandoval.
Tony Sandoval, which was my promoter and friend.
Right.
It was his little brother. He was 16 years old.
Yeah. Hillary's little brother.
And Demetrius Savanas was on the plane.
Right.
And a lady named Karen Ruffin was
Right.
also on the plane.
Right.
And the pilot was D.K. Price.
Yes, sir.
D.K. Price was the fireman in the Dallas area. I believe.
Right. And he flew me to El Paso when I fought in El Paso.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know
And he
that.
also flew me to Oklahoma City for
Okay.
a fight, or Tulsa, Oklahoma. I can't remember which one it was, but anyways, a long time ago. But yeah, he flew me those two places, and then on the way to Atlantic City.
So the plane goes down in Tennessee, and well, our world just caved in. I mean,
Oh,
there were
yes,
no
sir.
survivors, and they came up and told us, and we just stare at the walls pretty much, and just wonder what we're gonna do now. Our first notion was just to get up, pack up, go home.
Right.
And
That's your gut feeling. That's
Yeah,
just natural. Hey, I
just
can't
go
fight
on.
this fight. I'm fighting for a world title. You're not the champion,
No,
but how you fought that fight on that
actually,
day
listen, let's make a correction on that one. I was defending the title.
You were defending the
I was
title.
defending.
Okay.
I'd beaten Gordon Franks.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm going to Atlantic City to fight Paul Vizio.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fighting Paul Vizio, and he was, up there in the ranks. He was up there.
Oh, yeah. He was a really good fighter.
Yeah.
Really, one of the top fighters for sure.
And we just, we're not gonna do
We
this.
can't fight because
You know,
there's
your
news.
brain is just
You
gone
lose
out the door.
you lose your brothers, your friends, your
Yeah.
trainer, your hero, like Greek was
Yeah,
to
Greek
you.
was, yeah.
Oh, he was our hero. I know for sure.
So we started to pack up to go, and just kind of going through the motions really of walking and talking and packing, not in a daze.
And who was there with you?
At that time, Hillary was there with me.
Hillary, okay, yeah.
Hillary and I went up in the hotel, and I guess maybe 15, 20 minutes after we started getting things ready to leave, Joe Corley comes up to the room, and he goes, of course he expresses condolences to us, and he says, look, we're not going to tell you anything as to how the fight's going to go, or we're not going to try to talk you into it. If you're not going to fight, we understand.
You are? Yeah,
And
you are.
it was like, we thought about it, and when he walked out the door, Hillary and I looked at each other and said, you know what? We spent a lot of time getting prepared for this
Preparation,
moment.
yeah.
And also, this was one of the PKA at that time was trying to get more world recognition.
Right.
And they had us on NBC.
Oh, yeah.
And there wasn't very many full contact fights on television.
No.
And it was going to be live. So we thought about it and said, you know what? I think Greek would want us to fight.
Right.
He'd like us to go ahead and take this through all the way to the end. So tried to put on the best face we could and got back out there to fight. And it was an ordeal. I mean, crowd was crazy. I had another world champion who worked my corner in that fight was Jeff Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and
Jeff is one in a million.
oh man, he's
Kickboxer champion, point champion,
right,
instructor, school owner.
right.
He can do it all.
I had him and Jeff Gripper.
Okay, yeah.
Was the other guy in my corner, and all I remember, it seemed like it would be a vivid memory, but I know that when in between rounds, you get in that corner, they sit you down, they talk to you, tell you what you're going to do or what the other guy's doing or how to score your points or knock the guy out, whatever it is you're going to do. What are you trying to do? I didn't hear any of them.
You're just
I was in my own little world.
you're in the zone.
Yeah, I was.
In a zone.
I don't even know what zone it was.
Yeah.
But every time I sat down, I could hear Demetrius talking to me.
Oh, yeah.
I could hear him. I could hear him just as clear. You got to get in there. You got to do this. You got to do that. So I don't know what Gripper and Smith was saying, but I could hear Demetrius in my face right there telling me. And he wasn't one to yell at you. He just sat there. Well, you see what he's doing over here? Well, he needs to be doing this when he's doing that. I said, okay, and I'd get up and I'd go out there and find a way to do what Greek was telling me to do, not what Jeff was telling me, what Greek was telling me to do.
Yeah.
And the fight turned out that that fight went 8 rounds or 9 rounds, and I ended up defending the title then.
You stopped him, right?
I stopped him in that
Yeah,
fight.
so I don't know. I don't know how you did that. I know the day that I heard it, I was just torn apart, and I can't imagine having to fight.
You can't question when you have angels in your corner helping you out, you know.
Oh, yes, sir.
And Demetrius was definitely there. He was there with my angel for that. He was keeping me safe. He was making me fight to the best of my ability at that time.
Right.
Yep. So it worked out pretty well.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
100 years later, we're still talking about it. So.
Oh, yeah. 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 So, with your legendary career, was there ever a fight you were particularly nervous for, and how did you overcome? How did you overcome that? I don't know if Cliff. I didn't ever see him really be nervous, but maybe maybe you had something. Maybe you had something else. That
you as a fighter also will know that you can have that calm demeanor. You can be real, just as calm as you can. You can look calm, do your regular stuff. But inside, everything's just bouncing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just turning around and round and round. And, sometimes it gets to the point to where, I know with me, it got to the point that I couldn't keep water down.
Yeah.
My nerves were so bad. But,
you throw up the water, huh?
oh, everything came out. I mean, I had water from last week come out. Everything was, my nerves are always really bad. So I just kind of just shut up and just stayed to myself.
Yeah.
And people look at me, well, what's wrong with Cliff? Nothing's wrong with Cliff.
That's just how you handle it.
That's the way I handle it myself.
Right.
In those situations, and it's a matter of knowing when to get up and go and when to say, okay, just take it easy. Let's see what comes at you.
Right.
And it worked best for me just to stay quiet and give everybody that get away from me look. Don't bother me.
Right.
Some people understood. Most of them didn't.
Some people think he's mad, or he's upset with me. No.
Yeah, or he's what's the word you want to use without using a bad word? He's conceited. He's full of himself.
Oh.
He thinks he's better than everybody.
I don't see how they would come up with that kind of thinking, but no.
Yeah, he thinks he's all that. Well,
Well,
we do our fighting in the ring. We don't have to sit out here and argue with you because we're going to go and punch this guy out.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
where
yeah.
we do it.
Yeah. So, who pushed you the hardest in your training? I think I already know the answer, but in training, who pushed you the hardest?
Me?
Yeah? Yeah?
I push myself more. After that, I would say probably Demetrius pushed me a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Demetrius pushed me really hard. I had my toughest fight was in the training, in the gym. I was fighting. I had guys like you in there with me. I had Bill Jackson was in there. Raymond McCallum was in there.
Yeah.
You remember Rob Morley?
Oh, yes, sir.
Big old heavyweight.
I talk to him every once in a while. Yeah, he's a big guy.
Haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
And Kenny Wiseman was in
Right.
there. Had a couple of boxers come in.
So, a light heavyweight, Kenny Wiseman, so yeah.
And it wasn't that they were coming in to just because I was there. They work out there all the time.
Right.
I remember that school. I remember that school very well. It was at any given day, you can go in there and there's 5, 6, 7 guys that are world rated in that school.
Right.
All the time. So you had your pick. You go in and whoever was in the ring, you got in with them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Can you share something from one of your coaches or mentors that stuck to you for your life?
Yeah, my whole life.
Yeah. I know you're going to say one thing for sure. I know one person you're going to mention.
No, I'm going to mention Demetrius every time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We had Demetrius. You had DK. You had Hillary there with you all the time.
Right.
Those three. I
I
don't know.
had a boxing coach in El Paso. His name was Rocky Galarza. And Rocky was, he trained a lot of the fighters from Mexico, from Juarez, with El Paso's right across the street.
Right.
So we used to go over to Juarez and train with some of the fighters, some of the boxers over there. They have some pretty decent martial artists too, but everybody knows the boxing method of training and fighting.
Right.
They're in your face all the time. And that was Rocky's. That's the way he fought. That's the way he taught his fighters.
Right, yeah.
And he used to get on me for everything, really.
Get on you for everything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
He's a good teacher.
oh, he was.
That's what that
He
means.
was an excellent teacher.
He doesn't just sit there and...
No, almost every punch you threw, he had a remark for it.
Right.
Look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. And look what you're doing. So he always had something to say about, he matched your style with whoever was in there. And he helped you to beat the guy that was actually better than you.
Yeah.
But he'd help you try to get the best of that guy. Yeah, Rocky was something else.
Rocky. So what unique blend of styles did you bring to the ring? First of all, I'll just say this. The first 3 or 4 or 5 rounds, this guy was just taking it, punch, kick, taking it. That's what it looked like.
Hey, I played the game the way it was supposed to be played. To me, that's the way it was played for me.
And then
I see myself as a kind of fighter. Everyone says that I was a slow starter. Mm-hmm. I didn't start slow. The brain is going. It's going fast. I have to slow it down.
Right.
In order for me not to get into situations that I couldn't handle.
Right.
But I didn't start slow. I watched the guy. And it
He's
looks
doing
like
this.
it looks like I'm taking everything. I'm looking. Look.
Yeah.
He's throwing that out, and that hand's doing that. He's throwing that kick, and he's off balance over here.
Right.
Or he's tilted a little this way. So I'm watching him, and it's like he's taking a picture. Your mental picture right there all the time. And then as the rounds go on, after the 4th or 5th round, he's throwing everything he knows.
Oh, yeah.
He's already done everything, and most of the time, he didn't throw it at you lightly.
Right.
Everything he threw at you was trying to take you out.
Oh, yes, sir.
So you know what kind of power he has, and you know what he looks like when he's throwing those techniques.
Exactly. When it's coming, you're ready to
So-
defend.
So then after that 5th round, then you start putting your offense into motion.
Oh yeah.
And then you start picking him apart. Okay, when he throws a jab, right hand falls. When he ducks this way, this happens over here.
Right.
So now you just all you have to do now is just sit there and just
When he does that.
pick your punches.
Yeah. Right.
He does this, and you hit him with that. He does that, and you hit him with this. Sometimes you can hit him with both of them. You know.
Right.
So it's just a matter of they don't call it the sweet science for nothing, you know. That's all it is.
The sweet science of boxing and kickboxing.
That's right. It's the same thing. So it's always a matter of what is he doing that you can counter on.
Right.
You know, and then fighting, like I say, fighting out here, I fought guys like you know, you sparred together.
Right.
Billy Jackson, and I'm 5'11". And you got Billy's shorter, you're shorter.
Right.
Raymond was about the tallest one, except for the big guys, Morley and Wiseman.
Right.
But most of the people in there that I sparred with, they were small. You know, the best ones that I know.
Most people that you fought were a little shorter than you,
In my
right?
division, I mean, I'm 5'11". At that time, I was weighing 135 pounds.
Wow.
You know, so I was skinny.
Yeah.
So everybody I fought was a little shorter than I was. So it did good for me to be in the ring training
With short guys.
with short guys, because they're going to want to get in there and fight.
I knew I was born short for some reason.
You helped me. You helped me. You were there to help me. So
Yeah, I think I remember you stayed at my house for a week or 2 or 3 one time.
it was about a month, I think.
A month, yeah.
Yeah, until you kicked me out.
I think until it was time to fight.
Yeah,
I didn't
that was
kick you
it.
out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but we got along pretty well, I think. It beat me up, bloody my nose, bust my lip, and then feed me dinner. Yeah, that was a good deal.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's the toughest fight that you've had, physically or mentally? There might be physically one fight, might be mentally one fight. And so, what was your toughest fight, physically, mentally, and why?
Well, the toughest one mentally was the one with Demetrius and that plane crash.
Right.
Mentally, that was probably the toughest fight.
Oh, yeah.
I
I don't know many people that could jump in the ring and beat somebody.
I look back at it and I don't even recognize myself on that fight.
Right.
I don't know how I could do it either. But I mean, today I don't know if I could. But
Yeah.
I know then that's the way it happened.
Right.
So mentally, that has to be on the top of the list. Physically, Tony Rosser.
Tony who?
Tony Rosser. He's from.
Oh, yeah, Rosser.
Yeah, he's from Memphis, Tennessee.
Right. Rosser, Rosser.
Right,
Yeah, I remember him.
Physically, that was probably my toughest fight to this day. Well, there might be 2 of them. Richard Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Jackson, he's a little guy, but he was tough. Yeah, he stayed in your face all the time.
Oh, yeah?
And I couldn't get a knockdown or knockout or nothing, but we went the distance. Tony Rosser and I went the distance. And Tony was tough in the fact that he was my height, and he stayed on his feet and moved everywhere.
Yeah.
Usually the fighters I have, they come at you slowly but surely. They keep coming. Tony would, he danced.
Oh, yeah.
He threw kicks from every angle, and his hands were very, very fast.
He was hard to hit.
He was hard to hit. So I had to physically put him on the rope and keep him there.
Yeah.
And there was, if some people watched some of the past tapes of the fight,
Oh, yeah. Look up Cliff Thomas online. You can see lots of fights.
we get Tony's on the rope, and I'm holding him there and punching with this hand. I'm holding. But see, you have to do it the smart way.
Yeah.
Because the referee will get you for that, right?
Right.
So I kind of just leaned into him and just shove him in and hit him with the other hand. Yeah, you're holding, but hey, if they don't see it, then you can do it. But I mean,
Yeah, holding.
that's
Holding.
holding, and holding. You know,
Yeah.
it's different
Yeah.
ways of hold.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Tony was probably my toughest fight. We fought 3 times.
Oh, yeah?
3 times.
Did you win all 3?
No, he beat me the first time in El Paso.
Okay. In your hometown, he beat you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then he came back to El Paso for the rematch.
Uh-huh.
And I beat him.
You beat him.
And then they had the rubber match.
Okay.
And it was a draw.
Oh. So you won one, you lost one, and you drew one.
I drew one. So
With,
with the draw, I still retained the title, though.
oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it was 1 loss, 1 win, and 1 draw.
Oh, wow.
And now?
I remember that
now. I
now.
can get on the phone with Tony and we talk about it.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Is he in New Mexico?
No, he's still in Tennessee.
Where am I
Memphis,
thinking New
Tennessee.
Mexico at? Okay.
Yeah, he's in Memphis.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You're able to talk to have a couple of guys.
Yeah,
that
a lot
box.
of guys. You know, you lose to them and don't talk to them ever again. They don't.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to talk to you. But martial artists are different.
Right.
You know, they have that. It's like a great big family. You know,
Yes, sir.
everywhere. Martial artists, you can go. Like they have the point tournaments. You can get out there and score on people and beat them up, and then go out and have a drink with them.
Right.
You know, they're like a big family.
Yes, sir.
They
Yeah.
have a lot of respect for the art, a lot of respect for their opponents, a lot of respect for themselves.
Exactly. Okay. So, Cliff, how did you prepare for a rematch? I guess you had a couple of. Did you? I know you had one rematch because we just talked about it.
Right, Tony
Any
Rosser.
Any other rematches?
That's the only one that I ever got a rematch with.
Who?
Tony Rosser.
He's the
was
only one.
The only
Ah.
one. The other rematch we were trying to get was with Paul Vizio.
Oh, yeah.
When I fought Vizio in Atlantic City, you know, this was right after the plane crash.
Yes, sir.
And I beat him. I beat him then.
I said it before, but I still don't understand how you got through that with your cut man, your trainer, your manager, all right there. And
It was an ordeal. It was rough, but we made it through. And then I fought Vizio again at Madison Square Garden.
okay.
Yep. And Tony and Paul beat me in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know. I'm not one to say that the fight was fixed, but there were hints of it to me. But then again, if you look at it on the mental state of it, after the plane crash, for the next 6 to 8 months, I didn't belong anywhere.
Right.
I wasn't part of this school. I wasn't training here. I was just kind of wandering.
Right.
And we had already signed the contract for the rematch.
So your heart was killing you.
Yeah, I didn't. Where am I going to train? Who am I going to train with? How's it going to be? I could have come back here and trained the same way I did before, but it wouldn't have been the same.
No.
Demetrius not there.
Demetrius, right.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the same.
Yes,
so it
sir.
was just a matter of I was in my own world, but I was lost.
Right.
You know, so I really had to sit down and just really concentrate and focus on did I even want to continue to fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we're under contract for that rematch, so we're going to honor that. So we went down to New York. I guess we'll call up New York.
Yeah.
And we went there and got in the ring, and we fought. And I don't even remember that fight.
Yeah.
All I remember, J.T. Will was the referee at that time. And I guess it might have been the 4th or 5th round, I slipped. And
He called it a knockdown?
he called it a knockdown.
That upset you, didn't it?
And not only that, but that was the difference in the fight.
It made a difference because he called it a knockdown, but you slipped. Okay, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
When they started counting, oh man, they made
I looked at him.
a little mad, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Knocked one and knocked down. My foot slipped. And the guy, he wasn't throwing a punch or a kick, and we were in a clinch, and I was backing up and slipped.
This is Tony Rosser, right?
No, it was Paul Vizio.
Paul Vizio, okay.
Yep. No, I just slipped and I fell down. I got up. And the referee's counting. I said, 1, 2. I'm looking at him like,
That's probably the only time you ever had anybody
Slip.
count you, right?
that was the only time.
On your whole career, how many fights you have?
How many? Record was 64-5.
Okay, so almost 70 fights. Out of all those fights,
That's the only time that I got an 8 count.
and they count, yeah. Yeah, and that was when Greek passed away, so
Right.
some of that was probably because
It was all
of your
still, it was all pretty fresh still.
Oh yeah, I just can't imagine it.
Yep. Yeah. But like I say, that was the difference in that fight. Just that one. I don't know if they call it a 2-point round or a 1-point round.
They usually call it get 2 points.
Good 2 points.
So you go down, you get 8, they get 10.
They get 10, and at the end of the day, it was a 2-point loss.
But at the end of the fight,
I'd lost it.
yeah.
Yep. That took that, and then we tried to get a rematch with Paul Vizio, a rubber match. Never heard from him again.
Huh.
So, oh well.
That's the way the ball bounces, right?
And then they juggle the weight classes.
Yeah.
Because they got 5'11", weigh 135. You know, sometimes it was kind of tough to stay down to that weight.
Oh yeah.
So after Vizio beat me, they juggled those weights around. They made 132.
Just enough.
Just enough.
3 pounds is a lot.
It's a lot when you're trying to lose those last 3 pounds
Oh,
to make
yeah.
the weight. Oh man, you're starving to death.
So they changed the
They
divisions.
changed the weight and made 132 the limit. I said, okay. So I had to move up to the what they call the lightweight division.
Okay.
So I moved up. So fine, I moved up.
33 up to 36 or something or something.
36, yeah. The limit on that one was 42.
Okay.
From 33 to 42, they gave that the limit for the lightweight.
Yeah.
So I fought for I fought at a vacant title. So I just kind of stepped into it.
Right.
And then from there we went to 47, the junior welter.
147, yeah.
And I fought in that division. I fought Tommy Williams.
Yeah, I was there for that one
That was a good fight.
in El Paso.
That was a good fight.
It was a good fight for you.
Yeah, it was. It was a pretty good fight for Tommy. Tommy was pretty good. Yeah,
So,
he
to
was
be honest
really
with you,
good.
I don't know if you knew this or not, but I think you did. I trained with Tommy Williams in Dallas for that fight.
Oh, is that right?
I trained with him. I didn't necessarily train him.
Oh, you're training him to beat me off. Man. What am I doing here?
It's only 40 years ago. Can you forgive me?
I think I already have.
Yeah. Tommy Williams was the jump back king.
Oh, yeah.
I think he holds the world record still for knocking.
But
I don't know how
16,
many.
17, 18 people out
Yeah,
with a jump back kick.
yeah, but he didn't get you with it.
He hit me a couple of times with it, and I just looked at him. It's like, I'm gonna get you back.
Yeah.
And so that fight went what? It didn't even go the distance, did it?
No, it didn't.
It didn't. I think it was like 10.
I don't remember, but it was.
That's the 10th round.
I don't know if it went that far or not. Tommy Williams versus Cliff Thomas. Check it out online, I guess.
That was a good fight.
'Cause I can't remember. Yeah, it was.
That was a good fight.
Yeah. Okay. So, how do you hope your legacy inspires the next generation? Of course, now we're kind of the next generation.
You know, we made the way for
5 minutes.
we made the way for a lot of other things to happen.
Yeah.
You know, the martial arts. You know, we started off with the PKA and ISKA, WKA, and now they got the MMA.
Right.
And I think that with the PKA, we made the way for the MMA to come in.
Right.
You know, they're doing the cage fighting. We made that possible for them.
Right.
Too bad we weren't coming up when the money was a lot better.
I know. Yes,
It would
sir.
have been a lot better for us.
Yes, sir.
But I think it'll survive pretty good. I think
Oh, yeah.
they get some good talent out there.
How do you find greatness, not just in the ring, but in life?
How can you define greatness? You know,
I'm asking the question.
I'm gonna turn it back on you now. Yeah.
Not just in the ring.
No,
but
that's a question that really is going to depend who you talk to and what the situation is. Because people
Right.
think that a lot of things that you do is great. Like I won so many world titles. Say, man, that's great. You know what? It really isn't.
Tell me how many world titles you won.
7 titles in 5 different divisions.
7 titles in 5 divisions. That's amazing. I don't think anybody else has done that. Nobody else has done that, I don't think. Well, Thank you for joining us today. God bless you. Keep your eyes on Jesus. He's coming back soon. Thank you, Cliff, for joining me.
Hey, thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you
Taking
for having
time,
me.
making time.
Wish
God bless you.
Wish I knew about this earlier. I've been a fan. I've been watching all the time.
Love you, Cliff Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you.